Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee reporting 584 COVID-19 test results in since our last report on Friday. There was one positive test result in a traveler. There have been 78,173 COVID-19 vaccinations given in all in the islands, and of these, 65% have had at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. 55% have completed the two-dose course. Government expresses condolences to the family of Public Works Department Chief Project Manager Peter Ranger. Mr. Ranger was a civil engineer who led the office that oversees all major government capital projects. He passed away unexpectedly last week. Acting Director of Public Works, Troy Worms.
Peter was a high-performing civil servant within the Public Works Department and has left a legacy of delivering significant projects that will have lasting impacts on the lives of Caymanians. Peter will forever be remembered and respected for his contributions to the Cayman Islands government.
After joining Public Works Major Projects Office in 2016, Mr. Ranger took a lead role on a number of projects expected to facilitate significant improvement in the delivery of public services in the islands. Over the years, these included the new John Gray High School campus, the renovated Owen Roberts Airport Terminal, the COVID-19 Emergency Field Hospital at the Family Life Center, and the Court Redevelopment Project, to name a few. Census 2021 officially launched in Cayman Brac Friday, marking the start of the National Counts Education and Publicity Campaign with the performance of a new jingle by students at Layman E. Scott Senior High School.
2021, Cayman, get ready, starting 10th of October 2021.
Financial Secretary Kenneth Jefferson welcomed folks at the event.
The fact that we have various sectors speaking for Census 2021 underscores the broad mix of its likely users. Because of this, the ESO at the very beginning decided to adopt an inclusive approach in the preparation and implementation of the census.
Mr. Jefferson says the census is a national event where everyone counts. After the ceremony, the Economics and Statistics Office signed up potential census workers who will participate in the different activities that will lead up to the actual Census 2021 count.
Census 2021 is the most extensive national statistical activity since 2010 to facilitate the management of census operations for the sister islands. The ESO will open a census office in Cayman Brac with the assistance of the District Commissioner's Office.
It starts on October 10th and is scheduled to continue for 2 months. A preliminary census report featuring highlights such as total population is scheduled to be out in the first quarter of 2022, with the final report expected later that year. The Minister for Investment, Innovation and Social Development visits the Needs Assessment Unit. Radio Cayman's Dion Anglin has more.
The Honorable Andre Ebanks, Chief Officer Eric Bush, Deputy Chief Officer Andrea Famoy, and other ministry staff members visited the NAU team recently. The unit plays a critical role in administering financial assistance to qualified individuals in need. NAU Director Tamara Hurlston and the department's staff members discussed with the minister and ministry leadership where the unit is now and where it wants to be in the future. Minister Ebanks, who formerly served as the Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Community Affairs, says because the Needs Assessment Unit serves Cayman's most vulnerable people, it must be assisted as a top priority. He adds that the new ministry has the capacity and drive to reimagine the NAU's processes so those who seek assistance can receive timely and accurate decisions from a simple-to-navigate process. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Dion Anglin.
In the coming weeks, Minister Ebanks, Parliamentary Secretary Heather Bodden, and the ministry team will visit the NAU and Department of Children and Family Service offices in Cayman Brac, attending a church service there as Child Month draws to a close. The deadline for the COVID-19 Farmers Assistance Program is at the end of this month, issuing grants to farmers of all types. I spoke to poultry farmer Rudolph Miles today about the impact of COVID-19 and why he thinks support for local agriculture is so important.
We did have some challenges initially. Certainly the ability to move around was one of those challenges. Because we produce eggs, it was not as challenging as several of the other farmers, but we did have our share of challenges as well.
So what did you think about the initiative to assist farmers of different types with the assistance grant?
I felt it was a wonderful idea. It is something that would certainly help the farmers with the costs that they were experiencing and in many instances weren't able
think it's important for us as a community to buy local, support local, whether it's poultry or any other kind of local agriculture?
I think it's critical. One, we have the food security aspect of it. There are no guarantees that we are going to have our produce arriving on a regular schedule in terms of the ship. Anything can go wrong. We have storms, we have issues with airlines, we have issues relating to embargoes that may be placed or restrictions on shipments of various products from different jurisdictions. So I think it's critical that we invest in the local economy, the local farmers, to be able to produce the things that we need on island. It is truly critical.
Mr. Miles tells me his poultry farm supplies approximately 12 to 15,000 dozens of eggs to local markets every year under the brand Dan's Delights. Not only are they available for sale in grocery stores like Kirk Market and Uncle Clem's, they also donate to the needy through various churches and community organizations. As to the COVID Farmers Assistance Program, the deadline for that is the 28th of this month. More than 1,200 farmers have benefited to date, and you can find out more by calling DeMoy Nash at 244-3159. Successful applicants receive a voucher card to purchase seeds, fertilizers, and other essential agricultural inputs from the Department of Agriculture. Food for the Mind, as a symposium set for next month, focuses on the work of Caymanian historian Roy Bodden. Radio Cayman's Felicia Rankin-Solins has more.
The symposium, titled Public Intellectual Interrogating the Caymanian Society, hosted by the Cayman National Cultural Foundation in collaboration with the Committee for the Promotion of Research and Cayman Scholarship, will honor J.A. Roy Bodden. Chair of CPRCS, Dr. Livingston Smith, gives Radio Cayman the details.
The idea we have is to have an opportunity for persons who have written about the Cayman Islands to have that space to have their writing discussed and analyzed as a part of the intellectual process, but we believe it can add value to the community.
Having served the Cayman Islands as educator, author, and former member of government, Mr. Bodden was a natural choice.
He is certainly one of the persons who have written the most about the Cayman Islands. Mr. Bodden has written such books as The Cayman Islands in Transition, Stories My Grandfather Never Told Me, A Gathering of Old Men, Patronage, Personalities and Parties, From God House to the Glass House.
His work covers public service culture, Caymanian literature, ethics to political corruption.
The committee believes that when persons have spent so much time writing books about the Cayman Islands, we should give them more opportunities to be highlighted. You're talking about some 6-7 books, and these are significant works. Sometimes the books cover up to 300 pages of work, and the scope of his work is also of note.
Dozens of speakers will be presenting their written works, such as Jamaican publisher Ian Randall, Dr. Tom Phillips of Trent University in Canada, Yale professor of economics Mushfiq Mubarak, and Caymanian historians Dr. Roy Murray, Mary Lawrence, and many more. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
The symposium is scheduled for June 24th at the Harquail Theatre, and admission is free to the public.